yesterday was nice too.
Hi, Chief.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Your first time with us.
Nice, that's a great show.
It says it's there's no new way to shoot the pilot
I
stand.
know.
I think I like.
Hi, Cindy.
How are you?
Nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Who was talking about you?
Uh-oh.
And
It
her.
was all good, but I can't remember who it was. They said you.
Oh, guess what I have to do? Hold on.
They said it in a good way.
Yeah.
Just leave it and then leave Cindy for
Yeah.
I don't know. What I'd like
I'll
to do is
message.
Judy.
Who's our 6 o'clock producer?
If I
5,
introduce
it
you
should be
as the picture
I'm pretty sure I can go right up to it.
Forgive me if I
You want to talk to me
I'll just message her.
Yeah.
See, we have Cindy later.
Maybe I'll talk about
yeah.
this
that
generally.
they broke and they found the
say,
guy. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
At the end of this, I'll say, as part
Yeah,
of
that
our
was something.
preparation,
It's
Crazy case.
Yeah.
we will
Yeah, it was so ironic because I looked it up
augment
after we
staffing,
had lunch
all the
and
departments
researched
within
and
the
like,
county will
oh
augment
wow.
our staffing.
I didn't know.
And
Well, it's one of those, you know, you think like that big, everybody would know about it, but I really thought about it like a couple of years ago.
How we do phonetically do fonts?
You know, I remember the case, you know, like, cause I was here in, like, when those people were killed in Bolivia. So it was just like, yeah, some people got murdered.
That's how she
Sort of,
said
and I never saw it.
and then you'll get into
I think they know.
And then you want to do a fun review,
I know.
or to give more.
Yeah, what if we went?
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Meet D&D this. Do not disturb.
Oh,
that's how you keep it, so you get
text.
That,
Which
and
they
then,
haven't really said, they haven't really ever said what it is, and they don't talk about it forever.
She's a great sojourner at the 111.
Santa Barbara County storm update and
So great.
At the same time, we recognize that we're still spending.
no, I'm typing. I was actually voicing what I wanted it to write.
Oh, I saw that.
No, it's not broadcasting. I'm telling the phone what to type. So it's not something that's actually capturing my audio that
I
way.
figured that was some prepositions.
It's okay, but I want this person to okay. Storm update. March 4th.
So are you guys happy or unhappy that you want to get more zones?
Oh, super happy.
I know there's a lot of traffic on 101. People really complain about riding that.
Oh yeah, they were.
So
But then you have the craziness on 154. So.
what we could do, but how would you even know? We won't even know.
No, I was just saying, if you like go to your memo and like test the mic.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hey Claire, it's Michael.
It will.
Yeah, I just want to let you know, I'm going to turn my camera off for 1 second. I'm just going to put a fresh battery in just to be sure.
And make sure that I...
Okay, I just want to let you know. Thank you.
What was really weird is last
No problem.
time-
Bye.
Hi, I'll introduce myself. I'm Tom Bolton with News Hawk. I don't know if you're familiar with News Hawk yet, but...
I am. I actually follow you somewhere. Maybe it's on Twitter. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
So, anyway, welcome to Aurora.
You're the one that I got the 154 opening from. Was your
Oh, okay.
class or something? Yeah.
Could be. So, anyway, welcome.
meet you.
Good to meet you.
You know what, it doesn't hurt us.
Real good relationship with all your
Pretty
folks.
short.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that.
I'll give you one of mine too. I'll take a credit card.
Yeah, maybe pass those out.
My kids. Yeah, so there's my mobile phone on that too.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Great, thank you so much.
Hi. Nice to see you again.
Too.
Hello.
Fine, how are you?
Good.
Good, here we go.
Yeah.
You met Chief Hartwick?
I
been meaning to walk down the driveway. I'm a
Right
neighbor.
next door.
Right next door,
Neighbor.
county superintendent of schools.
Oh, you are a neighbor.
I am
You're in
a
the nice
neighbor.
building in the neighborhood.
You have a great building too. It's so
It's-
nice to meet you.
It's homey.
Yes.
Numbers one, can you hear the sound? We're testing a new
Yes, I
external
have
mic,
seen
so
that.
anyone on
Yeah.
Facebook Live.
They're all back now.
Starting the press conference in a few minutes. I see a few of you have joined.
Stitches and the two.
Can you
Hi,
please
Susan.
indicate
How
if
are
you can
you?
hear
Oh,
okay?
well, how are you?
Great, good to see you.
You too.
Thank you. Yes,
Get
I
lights
have.
my
Gosh, when would be an
external
appropriate time to come over and greet my neighbor? So we're here.
Hi, can you hear okay?
Yeah.
Those watching on Facebook Live, can you hear okay?
I think you're actually
Testing
heading
some
up
sound.
on a
Test, test,
Thursday,
test.
potentially for a graduation.
Oh, yes.
So thumbs up from Olivia. Thank you,
Good.
Olivia.
Yes.
We'll be starting here in a few minutes. I'm early. You're probably going to hear everything in the background.
Do we have a
Or I'll stop and we'll come back to you in a second. Oh, okay. Thank you. We're testing an external mic. Because the press conference is all internal to the cameras, and the public watching Facebook couldn't hear last time.
How many minutes do you think we are away?
So thank you. If everyone wants to
Probably 5 minutes.
hang on for about 5-8 minutes, we'll be with you for the press conference about a storm update. Thank you.
Tell them it's not yet. They could just show the podium like they do with the president. Just say, and they
How
could
you
just say,
been?
we're gonna join this. So I would just,
Good, good, busy?
some anchors can say,
That's a good thing.
just, yeah, they could start the show and go, oh, it's not. So
Never
they're just
stops.
gonna break in, or
That's a
they're just
good
doing
thing.
it straight up.
It stops them from being in
That's the
trouble.
business that you're in.
Yeah.
What do we, or who's making the announcement exactly?
They don't have to show it first.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, oh, I know, I guess.
this is just for students,
Right,
right?
right.
So they can just, they can still take it live.
Oh,
Just-
thank you for saying that.
He asked me, no, I didn't. I didn't go walk right here. This year I'll just go.
I live in East Bend.
Okay.
I came here from East Bend.
Yeah.
I can tap dance.
Relationships with, obviously, some kind of outlying.
It's better to, yeah, just leave it on. The other day, we made a mistake joining the president late because we just kept seeing the podium. And then we go to commercial break, that's when he walks in, and we're like, oh. You didn't learn to just stay.
You listen right now. Okay.
You can put time up there, guys.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna tap dance for you.
Yeah. I started I said, somebody do while I was talking. I'm like, dang it.
You know what wouldn't be so bad is turn this up front.
How about I?
Yeah, storm is predicted tomorrow and Wednesday, and so that's what the update is for today.
Because I was meeting the new commander of Wilton for coffee, beforehand. So I like to go out. Yeah, so people don't ear hustle your conversations. Like,
Hi, Lisa. Just want to make sure everyone is kept informed and aware and has situational awareness.
dialogue, yeah. And I'm super not recognizable to my hair. Who I am, yeah.
Is there a box to plug into?
An alert went out on Friday and another reminder yesterday. We've been monitoring the storm every day.
Is it all right if I squeeze by you guys, put up the microphone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Broad objectives with some broad
information I sent you that's going on the website, then your alerts will go out.
They can hear us too, so.
No, we're gonna put social media, it's on the, Rob, I'll do it, maybe that's gonna get everything out there. We did it the last time you did it.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's scared, just got in the car.
It would normally be social media, but I'm not there to do social media at 4 o'clock. So it's okay. Again, it's not happening until tomorrow, everyone's alert, this is happening with us. When it's in social media.
It was on this.
Thank you. Now, Lisa, I don't think it was 46.
I know.
I think it was 2.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
This is
Keep that all knotted up
Yeah.
for a little while.
Sure, why not?
I just was peeking at her.
But I'm glad to know that you are aware of the weather and what's going on. That's a good thing.
Yeah, we're good to go. Sheriff's gonna go. Yeah, we'll go in the,
And then you take them up front, stand them in that order.
I think what we've got online, we'll just go with what we've got. I'm gonna go after.
Jim Shooter's is saying, Shooter's announced 3 to 41.
And then Cindy and
Follow Mark.
Lisa, we should follow up afterwards because you shouldn't have literally gotten 46. So
Nobody's
if
going
you are,
live, right, other than
we need to fix that.
Which Facebook is, they're
Both sides of you? I'm gonna go after Chief Hart. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're good.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. The National Weather Service is predicting a strong storm will hit Santa Barbara County tomorrow afternoon that is expected to bring large amounts of rainfall over a 6 to 12 hour period. Peak rainfall times are expected to be between 6 p.m. tomorrow night, Tuesday evening, and 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. This storm is anticipated to be more intense than the last several storms that we have experienced. Peak rain rates are expected to be 1/2 to 0.8 inches per hour, which causes concern that mud or debris flows could occur below the burn scar areas. There's also a potential for thunderstorms that could cause significant downpours that could exceed the threshold levels and could get up to rates as high as 1 inch an hour. Furthermore, the amount of rain that this storm is predicted to bring overall, 2.5 to 3 inches in Santa Barbara County, with up to 5 inches, depending on some developments that could occur on the south-facing slopes on areas that are already saturated. This creates a significant flooding concern. The National Weather Service intends to issue a flash flood watch for tomorrow, Tuesday, from 6 p.m. through Wednesday morning at 6 p.m. The winds for this storm will not be as large of a factor as they were in the last storm. However, breezy conditions are expected, and there could be gusts possible up to 35 miles per hour. Due to the rainfall rates being forecast to reach the totals that they are, the belief is that they could trigger a potential debris flow, and as a result of that, the Storm Risk Decision Team recommended today, and I have approved, an evacuation order for all areas below the Sherpa, Whittier, and Thomas fire burn scars. That evacuation order will take effect at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday, March the 5th. Persons living in the red zones should make preparations to leave the area by that time. Sheriff's deputies and search and rescue personnel will go door to door tomorrow, announcing evacuation notifications beginning in the morning at 7 a.m. Since this storm is predicted to be of a relatively short duration, our hope is that without any significant debris flow or damage, we'll be able to return people to their homes within 24 hours. We do not take these evacuation orders lightly, and while we know that this is very inconvenient, if you are in an evacuation order that has been determined, please recognize that there is a high risk to life and property. Please plan to leave, and please plan to take with you your pets and important belongings, such as medication and irreplaceable documents that you can't be without. We will get you back into your homes as soon as possible, and we will not keep you out of your homes any longer than is absolutely necessary. And I want you to know that the Sheriff's Office will be providing security patrols in the evacuated areas while the evacuation is in effect in order to safeguard your property while you are away. We will have pre-positioned fire resources in the area, which Chief Hartwig and Chief Taylor will describe to you in just a moment. In addition, a rescue task force made up of our search and rescue and our Sheriff's Special Enforcement team members, each with high clearance vehicles, will be staged in the area in the event that they are needed. Our Public Safety Dispatch Center will be staffed and ready for a potential of a large volume of calls. We want you to know that if you have any physical limitations or if you know someone who is unable to evacuate and needs assistance, please call our emergency call center at 805-688-5551. Again, that's 805-688-5551, or you can also call 211. These are the same numbers that you can call if you have general questions about the evacuation. A Red Cross Evacuation Center will be open tomorrow at the Goleta Valley Community Center, located at 5679 Hollister Avenue. Again, that's 5679 Hollister Avenue. If you need assistance evacuating animals, including livestock, please contact the Animal Hotline at 805-681-4332. Now, if you're uncertain as to whether or not your address is within a red zone, an evacuation order area, please check the interactive map that you can find at www.readyspc.org. That's www.readysbc.org. And just plug in your address, and the website is packed with important facts relating to the storm, and it will be the most updated source of information for you. I want to make the announcement also that everyone who isn't should be signed up for the county's Aware and Prepare Alert system. Everybody in our county needs to be signed up for this, and it's easy to sign up. Just go to that same website, www.sbcready.org, and follow the simple directions so that we can get information to you in a timely fashion when it's needed. So I now would like to turn this over to Chief Hartwig from Santa Barbara County Fire Department.
Thank you, Sheriff. Mark Hartwig. I'm the County Fire Chief and Fire Warden. The National Weather Service forecast for this storm is concerning to all first responders. The strong atmospheric river that is predicted could produce, as the Sheriff mentioned, up to 5 inches of rain along the south coast. The intensities are at or slightly above the debris threshold levels that were mentioned. And on top of this, we have forecast a chance of thunderstorms. This means extra rain at a higher rate and would exceed debris flow thresholds at that time. If these rainfall rates and totals occur tomorrow, we anticipate very similar activity that we experienced in the February 2nd storms. And that's why we are taking the action that we're taking today. The fire service, fire rescue, and EMS providers within Santa Barbara County have worked hard to garner funding at the state level for pre-positioning resources, specifically to be ready for what might occur in the storms that come up. We have an incident management team that we will be activating. It is a multi-department incident management team, Type 3 team. One of the incident commanders for this team is the operations chief from Montecito Fire, which is Chief Kevin Taylor, and I'd like to go ahead and kick it over to him. Chief Taylor.
Thank you, Chief. On behalf of the Unified Commanders for the Santa Barbara County Multi-Agency Unified Incident Command Team, I want the community to know that we're sensitive to the impacts of an evacuation order, the impact that it has on our communities, the schools, and the businesses. However, in the end, when the forecast warrants, we will always default to the protective action that we think will keep the community safe. And that's certainly what we are doing today with the sheriff's leadership with the evacuation order for tomorrow. All of the fire departments on the South Coast will be completely upstaffed at 1,600 hours tomorrow. That includes the city of Santa Barbara, the Montecito Fire Department, the Carp-Summerlin Fire Department, and of course the Santa Barbara County Fire Department. Thanks to the help from Governor Newsom's office that Chief Hartwig just spoke of, we will have also available to us beginning at 4 p.m. tomorrow, 1 helicopter, 10 additional fire engines, 5 high water vehicles from the California National Guard, 1 hand crew, the Santa Barbara County heavy equipment operators with dozers, front loaders, and motor graders. And then finally, in closing, I want to assure you that Wednesday morning, if nothing occurs, we will do everything within our power to repopulate, in other words, get you home as soon as possible. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Cindy Ponce, the Santa Barbara, California Highway Patrol Captain. The CHP will monitor this storm that's anticipated to arrive tomorrow evening. We'll determine if public safety is at risk and whether or not the 101 needs to be shut down. During the February 2nd storm, the 101 was heavily impacted by rising water, mud, and debris that caused a risk to public safety, and it was shut down for numerous hours that day. So we're prepared to take the same actions, if necessary, to keep the motoring public safe during this storm. We ask that everyone stay out of the area in case the storm does cause debris flows that require us to close the freeway again. If you must drive during this storm, we ask that you please slow down. If you don't need to be on the roads, please stay off the roads. We want everyone to be safe. We thank you for your continued patience and support during these storms and evacuations. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Salcido, Santa Barbara County Superintendent of Schools, and really appreciate the opportunity to talk about how our schools will be impacted over the next 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. And how I will report on the schools will be which schools will remain open, which schools might be moving, and which schools or programs might be closed. So that's how I'll report on those three areas. For tomorrow, Tuesday, during the regular school day, all schools will remain open. But Tuesday after school, the activities do change. And so here are the districts that will remain open as usual after school. Those districts are Carpinteria Unified, Cold Spring School, and Santa Barbara Unified will remain open after school tomorrow. Canceled after school tomorrow are Montecito Union School, Crane Country Day School, and Our Lady of Mount Carmel School. So those are after school, closed tomorrow. Moved after school tomorrow is Laguna Blanca Lower School, the aftercare, and they will move to their Hope Ranch campus. At this time, we're anticipating that Santa Barbara City College will remain open tomorrow evening. Kate School is on spring break. So let's move now to Wednesday. Wednesday, the school day. Open as usual will be Carpinteria Unified, Cold Spring School District, and the Santa Barbara Unified School District. Canceled on Wednesday, the regular school day, will be Crane Country Day School. And here are the schools that are planning to move on Wednesday during the regular school day. These are moving. Montecito Union will move to its alternate site at Hope School District. The Laguna Blanca Lower School will move to Girls Inc. in Goleta. Our Lady of Mount Carmel School will move to their alternate sites at Notre Dame School and St. Joseph School. And El Montecito Early Learning Preschool will relocate to Shoreline Community Church. We will wait to hear from Santa Barbara City College on Wednesday morning to hear what they decide in terms of staying open or needing to make adjustments for Wednesday. Kate School, again, is on spring break. So I'd like to take a moment just to say thank you to the entire community for its support of our school, our children, their families, teachers, and faculty and staff. Thank you.
And I just have one last minute bit of information before we open up to any questions you might have. I've been given an updated number for the county's emergency hotline call center. Please disregard the first one I gave you. The correct number is 833-688-5551. Again, the emergency hotline call center number is 833-688-5551. And with that, we would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Do you know how many people will be evacuated from those burned red zones?
It's the same footprint that the last two evacuations have had, and the total number of parcels in there is about 1,300, just over 1,300. The total number of people is somewhere in the order of around 3,000.
Are still 3,000 people actually living in those red zones?
Yes.
Could you reiterate the new vocabulary or semantics of it, that there's no voluntary in this issue in the evacuation?
We have a new three-tiered system to provide for an advisory, a warning, and an evacuation. And depending on what the situation is, we can go from one to another or start right at one. And because of the prediction of the weather being what it is, we're going straight to the evacuation, albeit with a 24-hour notice in advance.
With the closure on February 2nd, is there anything that can be done to kind of, I know you said don't drive through there, but you're usually going to have people from out of the area driving through and kind of bottled up everywhere else.
Well, we don't know that it'll be closed. Our hope is that it won't be, so it'll just depend on that. But, during any really intense period of rain, it's a good idea if you don't have to be out and about to not be out and about.
Is the heavy equipment already at those places where it catches the water? I've seen that.
The county's equipment, in terms of from our flood control, or they'll be out. They are out and will be out throughout this eventuality.
Bill, there's nobody here from flood control, but can anybody speak to the situation with the debris dams at this point?
I'm told that the debris basins are essentially completely cleared out, and they're confident that they're in a condition that is, if we do have an event with a debris flow, that they will work well. But I will still remind everybody that we had, during the disastrous event that we had back in 19 of 2017, we had debris basins that were completely filled up and had additional debris that went over them. So they're a protective measure, but they're not completely going to stop something from happening in the event that we have a major debris flow.
Could you comment on the governor's giving resources? Are those resources here? Are they on the way? Or how that works?
Yeah, through the Office of Emergency Services, the governor has created a matrix that would provide funding for certain types and amount of equipment. And so specifically the fire crews, the heavy equipment, the hand crews, the air crews, and the rescue task force swift water teams will be funded by the governor's office, as well as the incident management team. And Chief Taylor will be the unified incident commander for the activation of the emergency crews during this event.
Are any of you in this zone, sorry about that, are any of you guys really impacted, like personally? You don't live in the zone.
Although I think we're all impacted. Yes.
I know,
Yeah.
but you're not in the age, got to move out of my house.
So the extra engines and the helicopter and the hand crews, those are basically in Santa Barbara County, but those are county crews?
They
From
will
North
be.
County primarily?
They'll be in South County predominantly, in the Montecito area predominantly, because that's where we have the largest.
No, but they're coming from the agencies in
They'll
Santa
be
Maria and Lompoc and...
Yeah, they'll be activated within the operational area, which is Santa
So
Barbara
when you
County.
say a helicopter, that's one of the county's helicopters?
Yes, sir.
Last time it was stationed at the airport.
Yes, sir.
The other engines were from Lompoc and Santa Maria.
The way the OES system works is that if the operational area can fill it, and we have every belief that we can, then they'll be provided within the county. And if we can't, that doesn't mean that we won't have access to the equipment. It means that we would just go to another operational area. But we have every reason to believe that we'll be able to fill up from within the operational area.
Where do the National Guard units come from? Is that from here, or is that from another county? Or
Chief Taylor, do you know where those come from?
So the high water vehicles are available from a variety of places. We've received them from the Fresno area and also from the Riverside area. Speaking relative to the group that we're getting for this particular activation, I'm not sure if it's from one of those two depots or somewhere else.
We don't have those here, right?
We do not.
Is Eric Bolt your contact then with the National Weather Service, or is there a reason he didn't make it?
So Eric Bolt will be our on-site meteorologist. He will join us at the Incident Command Post starting tomorrow at 4 p.m. The advantage of having Eric with us is that we get moment-to-moment actual what's occurring with the rainfall, and it really helps us as we get towards the tail end of the storm, if nothing occurs, to repopulate much more quickly. So we found that to be a very efficient use of resources and very much appreciate the support of National Weather Service Oxnard.
Do we know expected peak rainfall times and or when we'll be, in the clear, so to speak, when it's obvious the storm's passing?
Yes, yeah, sure. So the Weather Service indicates that our peak rainfall rates will come in two waves, beginning at about 6 p.m. tomorrow night and ending at 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. The first band is forecast to be between 6 and 9 p.m. and the second band sometime after 2 a.m. As you know, though, the challenge with that forecast is that those systems speed up and slow down frequently as they're impacted by the channel. So that's what we're going with right now. But when we get Eric tomorrow, that will, of course, immediately be updated.
Rob Lewin usually says what to bring with you. Is this the kind of thing where you take your necessities, like your most prized possessions, with you to a hotel or to the evacuation center?
Yeah, so when there's an evacuation order, we would encourage everybody to behave the same way regardless of what the cause of the evacuation order is. So that means bringing all of their valuables with them, everything that they hold near and dear that they've prepared since December to take with them when they evacuate.
Is there an evacuation center?
Sheriff, you had that?
Yes, there is. It's the evacuation center is located in Goleta, and it is at the Goleta Valley Community Center, 5679 Hollister Avenue. And I don't have the opening times on that, but my assumption is that that will open tomorrow in the afternoon to be available for people who are evacuating. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much for being here.
And if anybody wants to get a soundbite specifically behind one of the speakers,
Thank you, everyone.